are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you. You give me some back.
Your Honor, today we will hear the case of Justin Driver versus Tougaloo College. My name is D'Anthony Morrow, and I am representing Justin Driver. The prosecution failed to present any evidence to support a guilty finding against my client. First, there is no evidence presented to show in fact that my client was smoking. For one, there are video cameras outside the dorm that were not tethered to show that he was smoking. Two, they did not submit a drug test to prove that my client was smoking. And three, my client was outside with other students, so there was no eyewitness testimony that my client was in fact smoking. Second thing, there's no history on my client smoking. This is my client's second semester at Tougaloo College, and he has no history of smoking or breaking the rules. Second thing, my client is a student athlete, and most student athletes tend not to indulge in those type of things to keep their bodies in shape, and that was my client's biggest thing, was keeping his body in shape for his sport. And the third thing, the reason for my client being outside. For one, my client was receiving groceries from a friend that asked if he needed anything from the store, so that's why he was outside. Two, if it wasn't for him needing groceries, my client always puts education first, so he would have been in his room studying and completing work that was due. Third thing, it was a near coincidence that my client just happened to be outside waiting to receive groceries from his friend, and the dorm coordinator walked out and smelled the weed and saw my client and accused my client of smoking. So, based off the facts of there was no evidence presented to prove that my client was in fact smoking, no history of smoking from my client, and the reason of my client being outside, I believe that you should vote my client not guilty.